The members of the Senate are here at the National Assembly. We work together with NACADA, we work together with Interior, we strengthen, and I'm sure when those laws, those bills come to the National Assembly and the Senate, you'll do justice to them expeditiously because of the urgency of this matter. Again, we'll also have a forum for religious leaders because we need them in this campaign. They have a free forum every Sunday. And it's a good forum because there is no answer and question is one-way conversation. The pastors will say what should happen and the matter is there. So I think we'll have another forum for religious leaders so that we can also talk to them. We may not be able to do so at county levels. I encourage the governors again, just like they are doing the county forum, to consider also to have another forum for religious leaders in the respective counties. Ourselves, we can do at regional level. We do in terms of representation. But a more detailed forum with the religious leaders should happen at the county. And again, we do request our governors to facilitate. In matters administrative units, I think what you need to do, members of parliament, there is a way it is done. You do public participation with your GAO officers and yourselves, where there is need, where you think allocation is too big, it needs to be made smaller, where you need to create more sub-locations. I'm sure Professor Kindiki here and Raymond will be quite open to consider the proposals that come way from Mashinani. You take them at the sub-county level, and then they'll come to the county, region, and then they'll come to Nairobi. I'm sure the CS here and the PS will be able to give a due consideration so that where we need to create more administrative units to bring services closer to the people, that is done. I have heard the OCS Kwanza talk about transport. It is true. Most of the new stations are having a challenge. I'm sure within the budgetary constraints, the CS will be able to do something about it, but he cannot do it comprehensively. I saw in 2013 in Nyeri, my late brother, Gachagua, was governor of Nyeri. I saw him enter into a partnership with the national government administration, and he bought a vehicle for each sub-county, 8 sub-counties, and rent those vehicles. And governors, there's nothing wrong you'll be doing by buying police vehicles. These same people you are trying to build roads for are the same people you need around to be safe. And that is why we even ask the governors in the budgetary prone areas to consider also giving stipends to the NPRs, the service, because it's part of your job. Because Wanairongo, as much as security is our job in Laikipia, if your people have no peace, there's no work you can do in Laikipia. I want to request the governors, we can ask the Nyeri model that was done by the Gachagua so that you can use it as a guide. How did he go about it? Because there is a way, because the controller of budget agreed. Can the governors consider also that security is a prerequisite for development? And if the area is not secure, no matter how much money you want to spend on roads, on agriculture, on hospitals, if your area is not calm, if there is no peace, security, and stability, you cannot function. So I'm inviting the governors again. I'll bring it before IBEC, but because you are here, it's food for thought. Consider, and we can get that Nyeri model that worked in 2014 to see whether it's applicable in your county, and you can get a few vehicles for our police officers. You maintain them, you fuel them, you service them, and you give them to the police. Of course, you monitor the way they are being used, and then we can be able to make some progress. Again, the second generation products, I have said we'll make a decision. We'll have to make some hard decisions. Give us a bit of time. We'll have to make a decision. We'll have to analyze the little revenue they are giving us against the harm of selling poison to our people. And a few people losing business for the greater good of the people of Kenya. That is a decision we'll have to make. But in the meantime, the non-licensed distilleries and brewers, can you go and shut them down because they are there? The chiefs know where they are. The OCS know where they are. you have no excuse. RC will ask KRI and KEBS to give you the list of the licensed ones. Then you give it to your people. The ones that are not licensed, operating in homes, behind shops, can you shut them down? Is that okay? Officers, how long? How many days? Yeah? Yeah? How long? 1 week? Yeah? Today? Yeah, but a deadline, we want to be, because they need to travel back. They need to get the information from the chiefs. They travel back today. They get the information tomorrow and the day after. Then they have 4 days to shut them down. So can we say Monday? So will you allow us to release you from work if those things are not shut down by Monday? How many are of that opinion? Yeah, tukubaliane tu. Kwa heshima tu, hakuna maneno, hakuna vita. Tukubaliane kama wazee, pole pole na wamama. On Monday, if any distillery, any brewery is found in your area of jurisdiction that is not licensed, that is an open application to the national government to relieve you of your duties. And it will be approved without consideration. There will be no consideration. It will just be approved. Again, your license bus tumesema mufanye audit as we align the laws, because they are, something licensed is quite a bit of a problem. But the governors here want to persuade you. I want to persuade you. How do you have bars and restaurants in trading centers? Surely. Is it fair? Is it right? Is it reasonable? And I am sure you don't know. That is why this audit will help you. And the audit will, how many bars are licensed as bar and restaurant? How many this? And you'll find 60% of what is in your county is bar and restaurant, when it should not be more than 3 or 4. Yeah? I know, like where I come from, Karatina, my hometown, in my mind, there should be not more than 3. The ones I used to drink when I was drinking, those can be allowed to go on. But the rest are small joints. Wanatengeneza mutura hapo nje, na smokies wanasema ni restaurant. Surely. You governors help us. And I'm sure if you help these officers by shutting down bar and restaurants, these people now will be able to work at night. You see what is happening? They come across people working at night. They are coming from licensed bar and restaurants. How can they ask those people any question? But if the town has been shut at 11, sasa wakipatana na watu usiku wataulizana unaenda wapi? Unless you are a night runner or a witch, sasa mtaulizana maswali. So governors hapo mtusaidie. Itakuwa mzuri mkitusaidia. Government chemists, Professor Kindiki, you have to assist us to decentralize the government chemist. We can work with the governors to provide physical facility at the level 4 hospital, a room or 2. And there's a way we can work it out with the governors so that we decentralize that service so that it becomes practical. Again, Madam Dorcas Odul, the officers from DCI are asking, that very impractical ruling was an appeal made. That's what they're asking. It was very impractical. Can you consider, because in terms of practice, when they say that you test the whole consignment of what you have arrested, if they are 100 drums, how do you take them to the government chemist? So you do a sample, a representative sample, and I think if you should have gone ahead and appeal that very impractical ruling, and you should find a way of skirting around it within the parameters of the law so that we are also people who are effective. The DCI has said they have issues with the ODPP. The same came from Central Kenya. So, Madam, that thing cannot be wished away. These are the officers of government. And they are the people at the bottom of the pyramid. And I like the DCI, he has used the word shareholding, which I like a lot. I like that word, shareholding. It's a good word. He has said in the criminal justice system, the investigators are serious shareholders. And so when rules of how the criminal justice system operates, they should be involved because they have something to say. Because they are serious partners in that space. In next week, I am going to convene. It is in my function, among the functions I was given by the president. I am the coordinator of constitutional commissions and independent offices. I'm going to convene that committee, and that issue we shall discuss it, because the AG will be there, the IG will be there, the DPP will be there. That complaint from investigators and our police officers, the law enforcers, about the way the DPP is going about in prosecutions, and more so the dismissive nature of prosecutors when cases are brought to them by the investigators. I want to encourage at the regional and the county level the use of the court users forum. You convene that forum, mujaribu pale na magistrate, mujaribu kutatua at that level, because some things are different depending on the county and the region. But at my forum, we are going to have that discussion, because wherever we go, it is coming out very clearly that there is a gap. But probably it's because nobody has ever found it useful to bring these people together. So the president, in his wisdom and for practical governance, assigned me that role, because somebody needs to coordinate those agencies, those commissions, so that they are able to talk about the various frustrations and issues that are cross-cutting. I think it's a good forum. We not only discuss about your budget issues, but we also discuss how you relate with the other agencies. But I want to confirm, we shall not try to interfere with your independence, operational independence. There will be cross-cutting issues where there is one agency that feels that there is something that should be done differently. I'll create that forum so that we can have that discussion. Again, the DCI, they said we should have more sniffer dogs. I think DIG is something you need to look at. Yeah, the other day I found something very nice in one of my rural schools. They sent some sniffer dogs there when the boys were coming to detect whether they are drugs. And as a result, all the schools, nobody now is sneaking in drugs. I think it's something for our schools. The police needs to help us so that we do sporadic checks in the dormitories. At random, we get the sniffer dogs, they go to a school and check all the boxes, and I'm sure when the young people, and mostly they are boys and girls who are admitted to those schools from the big towns, like this one, and Nairobi and Mombasa, ndio wanaleta hiyo maneno na ujuaji ya madawa. I think that would help if we can make it as a policy that the police to support the schools, the boarding schools, other universities, to do random checks of their belongings so that we can see whether we can get drugs. Again, it's preventive. Once they know that is being done, they'll stop it. So that is something I think we can try to help each other. On the issue of the National Intelligence Service, I think you need to support your committees. The way Senator Cheptumo have said, the National Intelligence Service, when I was in the service, knew everything before it became a bit elitist. But still, you have presence everywhere. Even the National Intelligence Service can give credible, accurate information to collaborate with what the chiefs are giving and what wananchi will give. Let us have the National Intelligence Service. I know your focus is on subversion and espionage and sabotage. But again, this is our country. We spend a lot of resources on you. You need to support us by giving us credible and actionable intelligence, even in these matters, because again, the way Professor Kindiki has said, this issue is a threat to national security, and therefore is a concern to the National Intelligence Service. Let us get the officers in that area, support the respective committees in terms of information, especially the notorious Brewers. The National Intelligence Service should be able to have credible and actionable intelligence to support the county teams. Finally, I like the issue of the assets of the notorious brewers and distillers being forfeited to the state. I think that is something I want investigators to really work on. You know these people. As you map, as you get information from NIS, from chiefs, the notorious ones, map their assets as well, their vehicles and their buildings, so that when now you create a charge, you immediately follow up on how those assets can be confiscated and forfeited to the state. It will be a deterrent measure and a useful one, because most of those people are doing this for profit. If they know they will lose whatever little they have, watawachana na hii waende kwa biashara ya makaa, ya mahindi, ya maharagwe. Wakifika kwa makaa, watakuta naye nani anawangoja soipan, they find they have no place. So wafungiwe kila pahali, wafanye biashara ya maana ya kusaidia. It is true, the unit in Gilgil, we take it up with the CS Health mother. I know that unit. When we were students there at that camp in NYS, a few of our colleagues who found the training too hard were brought there for counseling. It's a facility, I agree with you, we need to enlarge and equip to decongest the one in Mathare. That is when we are going to take it up with the CS. I think that's about it. I think we have covered most of the things, and I really want to wish you well in this journey. It's a simple journey. It's simply to make a decision either way, what you want with your life and your position as an OCS, as a capital commander, as a DCIO, as a CCIO, as a county commissioner. It's really a very personal decision that you need to make between today and tomorrow. You just have to make a personal decision on what you want to do, because the government has already made a decision that you and those products are not compatible. That already have pronounced the policy on behalf of the president. The decision is yours. So as you travel back, think about it. If you find it is too difficult to comply, you can get a full scap and do a 2-paragraph letter or 1 paragraph or even a sentence. Useme uwezali na hii maneno, uulize nafasi, uende nyumbani. We calculate your dues, if they are available, tukupatie. Kama itagoja tuokote ushuru ndio tukupatie, ungoje kidogo. Hakuna shida. It's no problem. It's very simple. But I want to tell you, and I want to be very forthright, because Mimi, talking the truth is I have nothing else but truth. Mimi sina, madugu zangu wote walikufa kwa pombe. Sina wazazi wameniacha. Mimi niko na ukweli tupu. I have nothing else in my life. So mimi nawaambia ukweli. Rais asubuhi ameniambia nimwambie ni yeye na nyinyi. Lakini mkifanya vile nimeshauri nyinyi, yeye ni mtu mzuri, ni Mkristo. Na mimi sitaki mpate shida. I have also a responsibility in this government to take care of the civil servants. And you know I love them and I really care for them. Na ndio mimi napigania mshahara yenu, because I know you also need to be well taken care of. But to be here and cheat you that pombe itaendelea kwenu na bangi na muendelee kazini, nitakuwa mimi nadanganya nyinyi. Na mimi sitaki kumdanganya. Unajua mimi kwanza ni bwana ya pasta. Sasa ukiwa bwana ya pasta, you must be truthful also. So ama mnataka tudanganyane hapa? Tusidanganyane, hakuna haja. Wacha tufanye what we need to do, tufanye vizuri, tutengeneze mzuri. We clean up the National Police Service. The 2-3% ambayo wanatuharibia, tuwaondoe, tubaki na 97%. Hawa watu ya ngao, sasa tulitoa nyinyi kwa mambo ya siasa, mfanye kazi. And I'm sure you'll do a good job. We try to support where we can. I know some ACCs have no vehicles, they have no housing. I am aware of those challenges. We are discussing with the professor. And again, my OCS, OSPDs, and DCCs. Let me give you some advice kidogo. Tafuteni urafiki na hao MPs hawa. Tafuteni urafiki na hiyo watu. These people, MPs here, they have 140 million every year. Lakini kama unamdharau, atakujengea ofisi? They are not. Tafuteni urafiki na hiyo watu. These people will build for you good stations. They'll build for you staff housing. They'll build for you a good canteen. Nikiwa pale Mathare East, nilikuwa nimesema nitajengea police canteen mzuri sana. Tukaenda tukachora, tulikisana na OSPD alikuwa hapo anaitwa Barasa. na nikaweka pesa 14 million. Nilikuwa niwajengee kantini mzuri, niweke viti ya senior officers na TV hapo, niweke wale NCOs pahali yao, constables pahali yao, iko pahali ya nyama, iko pahali ya mvinyo, iko hii kitu naitwa nini hii unapiga na miti hii pool, ilikuwa dart. Nilikataka wakae mzuri. Sasa siku unaanza kuhangaishwa, ile mtu nilimwambia nitamjengea ndiye anatupia mimi tear gas. Hiyo pesa nikaliallocate nikapeleka kwa shule. Because that is the truth. Sasa wale watu nitaka wakae mzuri wanahangaisha mimi. How would I have gone ahead? So tafuteni uhusiano mzuri. I'm not saying these people should ask you to release people. No, don't agree. Lakini tafuta uhusiano mzuri. Pigia mheshimiwa, how are you? When are you coming home? Ukija weekend, nataka nikuone, nikueleze vile maneno naendelea hapa. Tumeshika hii, tumefanya hii, we just wanted you to know. Mheshimiwa, please, ukipata feedback na wananchi, utueleze. Create a good relationship. I'm telling you. Wewe kama ni county commander, iko haja gani, iko hasara gani utaenda kupigia governor? Provided you are not giving her operational issues. Lakini ile ya kawaida, governor, Madam Susan, nataka kukuarifu leo asubuhi kulikuwa na ajali pale Gilgil. We lost 2 people. Nini tumefanya hii na hii? We wanted you to know. Uko hasara gani utaenda? You see, what happened is that the previous administration had told what your national government at him a governor ni maadui yao. We serve the same people. Our governors, they are elected. They are serving the same people you serve. Look for a good relationship with the governor. Governor hawa ni watu wako na mabilioni ya pesa. If there is something you want them to sponsor for you, they will. They have money, they have resources. And by the way, they are elected by the people. So hata wewe you have no choice. Because wamewekwa hapo na raia. Tafuteni uhusiano mzuri na hawa officers. And our policy as a government is that the two governments are one. We serve the same people. Let us respect the county governments. Let the county governments respect the national government. Let us create a good working relationship. And I'm telling you, since we started working well with the governors, life has been very easy for all of us. And we give them time to tell us what they want. I want to encourage you at your levels also to embrace these governors and work well with them within the parameters of your duties and functions. It really helps. Kwa hivyo mimi nimeshukuru sana na tungetaka tuachie hapo. We wait to hear the implementation. Na tutasikia tu. Ikifika kesho, we will know who is working. Tutasikia kwa mtandao, kwa maredio, kwa ma-TV, kwa wananchi, tutasikia. Na hii kazi ukifanya hawezi fichika. Usipofanya ndio inajianika zaidi. So we don't even need to audit you. We don't even need a report from you. Itakuja tu yenyewe. Because wananchi wanasikiza na wanatuambia hapa iko namna hii, hapa iko namna hii, hapa iko namna hii, na wananchi tumewaambia na rais wetu ya kwamba hii serikali yetu ni ya kusikiza kila mtu na kila mtu anapewa nafasi kusema yake. Kwa hivyo I wish you well. Hakuna vita, hakuna maneno, sisi ni marafiki, ni madugu, ni madada, we love each other. Ni kazi tu tunataka ifanyike. Na mtusamehe kama tunakuwa wakali. Hatuna maneno na mtu yeyote. Ni hivi vijana wetu hatutaki wapotee. Hatutaki hivi vijana wapotee. Hata moja tunataka muwasaidie, hata nyinyi ni wazazi, muwaonee huruma, msaidie watoto wetu, msaidie nchi yetu ndio tuweze kukaa vizuri. Kwa hayo mengi, may God bless you and bless you abundantly. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Let me thank those who have spoken before me. And remind us that
you are watching DBN International Broadcasting Network. You are watching DBN. This is DBN.
It graduated into colonization. And that is the context in which Berlin must be
Broadcasting Network. You are watching DBN. This is DBN. Stay
in governance systems, and he rightly says, no African country will ever succeed on the basis.
You are watching DBN International Broadcasting Network. You are watching DBN. This is DBN. Stay.
All of us will remember Kwame Nkrumah's book, Neo-Colonialism, the last stage of imperialism. And he there says the most dangerous.
You are watching DBN International Broadcasting Network. You are watching DBN. This is DBN.
They are most diabolic. When the Americans are at their most diabolic, and it's not lost on me that they'll be meeting in Hiroshima next week at the G7. And how do they interfere? They interfere militarily. They ensure that you in the military are trained in Sanders, are trained in West Point, so they affect your mind. They interfere diplomatically.
You are watching DBN International Broadcasting Network. You are watching DBN. This is DBN. Stay.
Treats our heads of states in a condescending manner. They interfere under the IMF.
You are watching DBN International Broadcasting Network. You are watching DBN. This is DBN. Stay.
Through dollarization. They interfere through education. They interfere by influencing our processes, by lenders, advisors.
You are watching DBN International Broadcasting Network. You are watching DBN. This is DBN.